many others who are dealing
Right.
with that. Man, I'm grateful. Allah Akbar, bro. Okay, 1 second. Waiting for the notification, and boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast. We have an amazing guest with us this afternoon, one who is going to give us some powerful information as well as inspiration. First of all, I want to say assalamu alaikum, Brother Dominique.
Wa alaikum salam, my brother.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come, talk to us and tap in with the People's Podcast. Now, before we went live, I learned something new. Yes, sir. And I wanted to lead with that because I think that many of us need to understand what to do in this situation and just how are you dealing with it. You said you're a single father who is raising a child that's hard of hearing.
Right.
What is that like?
At first it was a little scary, but it's certain mentors in the nation that I went to and asked for advice. And they gave me advice that is beneficial. And most definitely, the minister and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the blueprint they laid down helped me be a father. The understanding, like when you get mad, right? By him being deaf, there's a language breach. Because before we moved here, I ain't know no sign language. And he didn't either. So the most honorable Elijah Muhammad says you don't discipline your child when you're angry. That was a major, because when you're not properly communicating with a person, there becomes a disagreement, a dislike. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's like miscommunication. Why you ain't pass the ball? You see me wide open.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
seen you, but I wasn't really focusing on you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, like it's certain pioneers, certain teachers, the Holy Quran gave me a broader understanding on how to deal and cope, especially with communication with my son. So may peace and blessings be upon Minister Rahman. He encouraged me to bring my son back to Atlanta. So, when I brought him, I put him in the school for the Atlanta School for the Deaf. So everybody at this school signs. If you can talk, the student has to see you sign. They don't even want you to verbally talk around. So, I tried to give my son the teachings in ASL, what started helping me really learn and focus on ASL. So I'm like, wow, okay, I can do this. I was scared. I went to Brother Marcus, scared. Like, brother, what can I do? And he gave me the most simplest advice. He was like, don't you eat every day? Don't you got clothes on your feet? I mean, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet? I said, yes, sir. He said, handle it. So then I had to take charge of my post in all temple property in view. So I had to make some adjustments to self. So I went into the self-improvement and started saying, I can't chastise him or be angry with him for what he don't know. I have to teach him. The minister said he will send saviors. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand the first people we got to save is in our household. You know what I'm saying? So I apply the teachings often to my livelihood in order to deal with my son, their mothers, because I have three baby mothers. So now I'm working on the art of co-parenting. So dealing with a son that's hard of hearing, I have to focus on his hands. I got to focus on his facial expression and body language. Like, if you talking to me and he comes signing, I got to pause with me and you talking about, because I can hear you. You know what I'm saying? He might say, he might sign, this is for signing. You might sign something, and I got distracted and missed it. Like when we first got back to Atlanta, right? He assigned something to me, and I agreed to it. As soon as we get to the mosque, I got an NWA on my hand. I'm talking about, I'm like, man, come on, let's go. You like, this ain't what we talked about. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's very, I'm starting to like the hearing impaired community. And the minister is starting to grow within the deaf community as well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that's hard of hearing are being attracted to the minister. So, you know, it's a challenging, but it's rewarding. It's dealing with patience.
Praise be to Allah. May Allah continue to bless you, sir, in dealing with your son and raising him. And thank you for stepping up and being a great example. In that community, what can people who aren't hearing impaired do if we come into contact with your son or others to make it an easy? How can we assist?
How can you assist? You have to broaden your knowledge in ASL. You know what I'm saying? That like we don't really deal with things that we're not affected by. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna show you how merciful Allah is. Growing up, I used to always love throwing up gang signs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you know, how I looked at it, Allah was already preparing me to take on this load. Because in a million years, I never thought I'd be a single parent raising a deaf child. Never thought that. So when I was affected by it, I took the little knowledge I knew about signs, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
see, you understanding the language, right? Without nobody saying that to you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
You take what you know, the little bit you know. Like, for example, I'll be like, nah, I ain't hungry. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. So, you know, look, we do signs every day, especially when we holding posts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I'm trying to make it apply to our teachings as well. You know what I'm saying? So yes, therefore, we keep it on the high plane. When you on post, you know what this means. I don't know if you can see my hand, but you know what this means.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So we use sign language all the time, but we just haven't mastered how to use it successfully and effectively. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for example, you see me do this to him, I'm saying hi. You know what I'm saying? And half the time we just wave. They know what it means, but just a word, put a word with a hand sign, simple hi. You know what I'm saying? But in our world, it's a salute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So we use signs every day and don't really realize. So, you know.
Excellent. Wonderful. My sister, Miriam and Naeem send the greetings, and a lot of people are showing you love by liking it. Thank you all for continuing to watch the People's Podcast. Well, you spoke of you throwing up gang signs coming up. How did you go from throwing up gang signs to accepting the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
The first I ended up accepting the teaching because I was flat out tired. You know what I'm saying? When all else failed, Islam come. So, you know, I did grow up in the Christian household. You know, I had a partner from New York. He had came down, and he used to give me the 5% of teaching, right? Mm-hmm. So I had went away for a little stint, right? And I came back home, and he was Muslim, but he was Sunni. So he took me to a Sunni mosque. So I took the Shahada there. Mm-hmm. But they weren't speaking the language for me to grasp. You know what I'm saying? So I was still doing my street thing, you know what I'm saying, with a whole beard, you know what I'm saying? But I had heard the minister on Tupac, White Man's World.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was incarcerated in 1995. But I remember the minister's voice. So I was at a store and the mosque was like right across the street. So I had walked over there because I always supported the brothers in suits and bow ties. I always supported them because I'm like, man, excuse my language, these niggas got to be for real. You know what I'm saying? They always out here in the sun, you know what I'm saying? I always supported the brothers. So, you know, I go away and do another little stint. But this time I came home and I seen Brother Michael Soul. He was the first one to bring me to the mosque. Even though Brother Trey got the credit, but Michael Soul was the first one to bring me to the mosque. So that was the first seed, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he pulled up that Sunday morning, I had literally just walked in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, had been out all night, you know.
Yes, sir.
Doing my street thing. I'm like, look, dude, I just got here. He was like, come on, brother. And I honor my word. So I went. I couldn't, you know, nah, brothers like, come on, brother, wake up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they was applying pressure on me, but I was not ready to receive the teachings like that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But I had, you know, 11 years ago, going on 12, I had a situation, you know what I'm saying, that took place. And like I say, I had came out the store again and seen the brothers over there. I'm like, man, what y'all do? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm asking questions.
Yes, sir.
And he was like, you can come on in. I had on some blue Dickies shorts and a tank top. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna come in and disrespect the mosque like that. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, well, come back Sunday. So I never forget, Minister Stevens said, when you come back, bring your Bible. I'm like, I don't read out the poison book. So I came back and Brother Stevens had pointed out some key things to me. So he freed me from shackles that I didn't know I had when he was like, you think you're going to prison is by your choices, by design. So boom, the first paper that I read, I'll never forget. Because like I said, I had a situation. In the final call, the minister said, what do you mean you can't come up? You beat 1,000,001 odds to even be born. The vaginal tract is a hostile environment. This how powerful the final call, like boom. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So, you know, I was blown. I'm talking about this. I remember this article like yesterday, because that was the article that woke me up. So remind you, I only heard the minister, but didn't know he was the minister on the Tupac CD. I never heard of Minister Farrakhan. I heard of Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? I was always fascinated with him, respecting him, but I never heard the minister. So I forgot what the subject was. They had me come to a Sunday meeting and the minister was speaking. And he said something. And I was like, I know that voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting there, sitting in my seat. I'm like, I know that voice. I know that voice. So, you know, long story short, you know, they showed me the supreme wisdom, but I couldn't have the supreme wisdom. You got to be a registered member of the Nation of Islam to get this book. But I was coming, you know what I'm saying? I really started dedicating myself to the people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to sell drugs. I ain't want to rob. I ain't want to do nothing. Over here in the other community, I was still doing the same thing. But when I started getting knowledge of self, somebody was telling me something about me. I ain't realized I hated myself that much. So, you know, the first book I purchased was a self-improvement. You know, the basis of community development. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So even with that, I tied that to Crip. Because even in the anonyms of Crip, community reconstruction in progress, the R becomes interchangeable depending on what set you claim.
Yes, sir. So,
you know, then I heard the minister said, in community, it's 3 words in it, you and I. So now, boom, we crippin' now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, okay, what we doing, we ain't crippin' because we knocking one each other out. We ain't cleaning up the community. We ain't taking care of the community. We ain't doing none of that. So, you know, I started digging, and I'm starting to realize everything fall up under the most honorable Elijah Muhammad umbrella. If you really look at it, all these different gangs come from his umbrella. You can't get away from it. It just was grafted down and distorted. They rocked it up to what they wanted to be, but they kept the head out. They kept the head out of the way. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I'm like,
Yes,
okay, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Do what I'm supposed to be doing. So, you know, I hollered at the homie, and I was like, this is what I'm finna do. So everybody looked at me, they were like, what you mean? You know, it's cripple nothing. Nah, this is what I'm finna do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been rocking with the nation ever since.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful. Now speaking of cripping or nothing, did any of your lokes, you know, all your true lokes, did any of them ever follow you in, or how did they respond to you now?
Oh yeah, like the east side of Columbus, Georgia, is either Crip or Muslim. I have a very, very, you know what I'm saying, strong influence in Columbus. You know what I'm saying? Because the generation that's out now, the homies that's out now, the OGs out now, you know what I'm saying? I was vouched for. So like I'm vouched for. So their uncles might be like, that dude there, he cleaned himself up, but back then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I'm a small dude. You know what I'm saying? So growing up in the system, I had to earn it. I had to earn them street credibility. You know what I'm saying? Because like people, I don't really let people get close to me to look in my eyes and face. I got all kind of scars and all that.
Yes, sir,
but like it was earned. But one thing about it, you know, I never crossed nobody who didn't deserve it. So, you know, I was vouched for, and then what the minister and the nation has given me to give back is far more greater than the negative energy that I put out.
Praise be to Allah.
Because like, you know, when I got a chance to say the final call, I went back to the same community I helped tear up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't go to somebody else's blog, go cross town. No, I went right back to the stove that, you know, a lot is very funny now. A lot is very funny. You know,
yes, sir.
You have to take the good with the bad, because in some places I did some stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Allah either sent me there for some, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Allah has a very great sense of humor. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I agree.
Because like he'll make you humble yourself and send you back to see what you did and see how can you fix it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in Columbus, you know, I go home a lot, but I've been trying to put in some work here in Atlanta. When I can move, you know, the DeKalb County, them some troopers. Them brothers some troopers. Yeah. Hey, them brothers I got a lot of love and respect for them brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Brotherhood in general. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. My sister Miriam says, did you have to learn ASL to communicate with your son?
Yeah, we're working on it now. When I get more sufficient, I'm gonna bring it back to the mosque. You know, because I call him Big Homie Captain Oliver. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because like he reminds me of discipline. Every great soldier needs discipline. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, learn it and bring it back. Okay, that's what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Excellent. Well, my next question is, speaking of you being on the east side and DeKalb County, all these different places, have you ever faced fear in your life? And if so, how have you overcome the fear that you have faced?
Right. I got to fighting for the cause of Islam
Mm.
since I've been in the nation.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
we matter of fact, what Savior's Day I had went to Savior's Day, I shot at this hand. You know what I'm saying? And the fear factor of it, I had to ask myself, did I want to continue doing this mission? Because you know, we often talk about one day you're gonna have to fight in the cause of Islam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you know, like my prior lifestyle, I'm with whatever. I'm cool with it all. But when you call yourself doing righteous and you still that day come, you're gonna question yourself. And in that, what I did in questioning myself, just so happened it was Savior's Day. I had surgery Thursday, and I flew to Chicago Friday. And I sat and listened to the minister, and I started to understand what I signed up for. See, and we all gotta ask ourselves, what did we sign up for? Because we slick took an oath, right? What you think that pledge card is? So understanding what I signed up for, praying to Allah and looking at the man of God, I was over to overcome all fears that I had. And what like the most fear that I ever had was actually raising my son by myself.
Mm.
So that was the biggest fear that I'm overcome. I heard your father say, I want to use his words correctly, but pretty much he was like, fear only restrains you from moving forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying how he said it, but pretty much to sum it up, that's what he said.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So shake it off. My job as an FOI to overcome all obstacles in my way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
sir. Yes, sir.
so you know, like my bounce back and shake back to some serious.
Praise be to Allah. Now, speaking of fathers, what advice would you give to future fathers?
The best advice is time. Time. You know what I'm saying? We have to spread our time equally with each child, because each child has their own unique identity. And when you can do the family thing, do it. Make time for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to use another quote from Captain Oliver: "Be kind to your women and children," because we don't know. It's 2020. The children got their own thing going on. We worried about the street, but we ain't really paying attention that they're up on the cyber attack as well. So you really want to spend as much time as you can. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Study the white man, for he is successful and he make no excuses for his failures," right? One thing I noticed about them, they don't work a second or third shift. They work from a 6 to 2 or a 9 to 5. Because normally the children at school around that time, right? But somebody at home to receive that child, either him or his wife. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so sir. As I studied the Caucasian, because that's what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad told us to do.
Yes, sir.
They're not on no second and third shift. They're not really going out of time, working all the way out of time. They're not doing all that. So I'm from Columbus, right? So the job I have now, it's hard for a black man to really get in this field because it's a skill, right? So I've been looking for the white boys at these apartment complexes. I can't find them. But I went down to a 500 building like downtown Atlanta, full of white boys.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Government jobs. Why? Because now it's all about benefits and how much I can be at home. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
I used to try to I had a little business thing going on where I do electrical work. You know what I'm saying? I can touch all three maintenance field, industrial, commercial, residential, and I do a little side work, right?
yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
I did. His name was J.P. Patel, an Indian, and he said something to me. He said he put his wife out. I said, "You a fool! You put your wife out?" He said she can go, but my son can't. So I'm like, "Oh, bean, that's one life." So I did a job for a white boy. He said, "I don't care how much it costs me, as long as I can get back to my family." That was the second life. I ain't need a third life to grasp the concept. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
sir. Yes, sir.
all these other people gonna break their neck to get back home to their children and their family. You know what I'm saying? So let's deal with loyalty. Bro, I can't be loyal to you if I ain't loyal to my own. You know what I'm saying? Our first community is in our four walls. So, you know.
Excellent. I saw you make a post on Facebook a few days ago where you said, I don't want to misquote you, but basically you were saying how the importance of family versus opposed like to the streets.
Right.
How do you get that point across to young people?
Example. We don't see fathers in the hood. We ain't talking about the one, you know, a lot of OGs now are not respected because you smoking blunts with the youngins.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You and they can touch you all the time. No, that ain't the movement. When I go to the hood, I can't give them no more than 15 minutes.
Mm.
I can post right now on Facebook and say, if you know me, how long I stay somewhere. 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So they can't see you. When they see you, you have to play your role. You know what I'm saying? Brother Terrence said this one time. He said, everybody, you have to, if you don't know your general order, play your role like you know it. You got to play your role. You know what I'm saying? I'm considered like, by Allah's permission, a big homie of the city. So if they can see me all the time, I lose value. You know what I'm saying? And then when they see me, I'm giving them something the minister has gave me. Because I'm a fool by myself. But if I give them something I read at the final call or something I heard the minister say, something I heard the father say, some of good I heard. I don't even condone selling drugs. I don't condone. I ain't with none of that. You know, I got a dope boy swag, but I ain't with none of that. If we can grow in the community, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like in Columbus, a little partner, well, I gotta respect him for what he is. One of the big homies. He ain't my little partner no more.
yes,
He's a big homie. You know what I'm saying? He thought Forest Road. It took 4 hours to get into the park. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
And it was like, you asked me, was I coming out? Now, y'all got the community now. You know what I'm saying? But I understand my role. I can't hang with them all the time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you know.
That's it. Okay, excellent. What do you do for fun, sir?
Hey, this finna sound crazy. I like sewing.
Okay.
I like sewing. You know what I'm saying? So like I like art, you know what I'm saying? I've been trying to make my own out clothes lately. You know what I'm saying? I'm into fashion like that. So I've been sewing a lot. You know, I make my own bow tie. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
You ain't know how to make bow ties?
No, sir, I didn't know that.
Oh man, oh man.
That's good. That's beautiful. Okay. How has the quarantine affected you? Like, has it gave you more creativity, or has it had limited your creativity?
Um, Giving me more. It's giving me more than it hurt. And like, for example, how the power went out the other day showed me that I had to make some adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Because the shot of the eye was the greatest thing. So I looked at it as a test run. It made me stronger in family orientation and bonding. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure my loved ones was good. Like me and my mother relationship and that like, way, it strengthened me. It strengthened me. Like, I don't have to go outside, I don't have to kill myself to go to the store or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I might get fly and go to Walmart for a few minutes, but you know, like finding the fun, it give me time to bond with my children too, because they dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So my youngest son, he in Columbus, like I bought an Xbox. I'm not Xbox man, I'm a PlayStation 4 man.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah,
bought
yeah. Same here,
yeah.
same.
By the distance and the internet, it helps me kind of connect with him when he want to play with me. You know what I'm
Okay, yes,
saying?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you know, it strengthened me a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? It made
Okay.
me it made me look at self more and how I can better self to better my children.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Um, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite album of all time?
Man, Tupac album, All Eyes on Me, of all time. All
So any
time.
any Tupac, any
Tupac.
albums, All Eyes on Me Against the
Oh, that
World,
particular
Machiavelli,
album,
any of it.
listen, Tupac said, "Oh, all eyes on me." He said, "Get rich and we'll kick it. All eyes on me." That was my best hustling years ever, ever, ever. I'm
Yes,
a
sir.
very big Tupac fan. When he dropped that, I was doing something I ain't had no business doing, but in my mind, he said, "Get rich and we'll kick it." Then that was my best hustling year. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
favorite album of
Okay,
all
praise.
time.
Excellent. Now, before we go, I gotta ask you a question. A lot of the sisters, when you make your posts and you have statuses, you're thought provoking, and you put up your pictures and you posing, with your blue on and all of these things.
Right.
I mean, is there a particular type that you're looking for?
Nah, it's the vibe, the energy. You know what I'm saying? The vibe, the energy. Because you can't base nothing off looks these days. Because everybody form change.
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like one day I might have hair, one day I might be rocking a bald head, one day you know what I'm saying? Features always change. It's about what's on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So, they might be big one year, small the next year, the small one might, you know what I'm saying? You got to base a person by the conversation, the vibe, you know what I'm saying? The energy. You know what I'm saying?
Praise be to Allah. I agree. Yes, sir. And I'm always telling all the homies and all the young brothers that it's not about the outside; it's about the inside.
All
But
right.
many of them they don't agree, but whatever, they'll learn. My next question is, what would you like your legacy to be, sir?
Ooh, that's a good one. What would I like my legacy to be? The love that I have for my children, bond between them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like with me, that's my blood. That's me. So if they can be like my daddy position us and put us in a position, I never die. You know what I'm
Praise
saying?
be to Allah.
Like I'm a considered a loner. I don't like hanging with dudes or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I go anywhere by myself on this planet. But when it comes to my children, I'm rocking out with them. So how they feel about me, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, I I used to be the assistant minister in Columbus, right? My son that's deaf, I was sitting back in the back with him, and he looked at me. He said, "Dad, you're supposed to be up there." So even my mother, if I get out of control, my mother, my children, mother, especially Sharif, they will call you Muslim. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You acting like a nigga again.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, my family keep me in line from my mother, Sharif, my aunts, everybody make sure, even the street, make sure I stay in the nation. Now you going over there with the bow tie. You know what I'm saying? So, like my legacy is the relationship between me and my children, you know what I'm saying? To honor and keep them well respected and protected. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
And what a beautiful legacy that is, sir. Well, I want to thank you very much, Brother Dominique, for always showing love. And every time we went to Columbus, whether it was with the youth or with my father, you always showed nothing but respect and showed me the genuine love and honor. And so may Allah continue to bless you and your family, Brother Dominique.
Man, likewise, man, like, yo, man, bro. But, man, your bloodline, bro. Bro, Minister Sharif? Oh my God, dude. Hey, you were born, your whole family born and blessed to be soldiers, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause like Minister Sharif he's so slick with his delivery. You know what I'm saying? He don't show no different face. Like, get it done. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about it. Do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Cause I did what did I do? Peace and unity, love in your community. You know what I'm saying? And I asked Minister Sharif approval. Here's how he hit me. Do it. You give us a detail later. Got up. Like, is that simple you do it? Got you. So, I try to borrow something from everybody I come in contact with. You know what I'm saying? When I come in contact with you, I'm robbing you for some. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I done looked at your drill a whole lot of time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, that's how I do. Okay. So, hey, may Allah continue to bless her, brother. I really appreciate the honor and the opportunity.
Yes, sir. It's my honor, sir. And I'll make sure we put it on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe. And Brother Dominique, please continue to be an example of a man who has a skill to take care of their family and help the young brothers continue to, just continue to speak to the youth, brother. You do a great job on social media, and I'm sure in person as well. So please continue the good work. A lot of people look up to you that you have no idea, sir.
Oh, I try to stay in the cut. I try to stay out the way, bro. Hey, if I can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Just I try to stay out the way. But good to know.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, love you, Brother Dominique, and please give your family greetings and keep up the good work, sir.
Likewise. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.